Hello, welcome back to N.E.S.T Kids and the science section. Today we're going to be learning more about the structure of the Earth. Do you remember a few weeks ago we learned about the structure of the Earth using an apple, and we learnt that the outer layer of the Earth is called the crust and it's made of rock, and underneath that is a moving layer called the mantle. Here's a picture to remind you. Today we're going to be learning more about the crust and the bit of the earth that we stand on. But we're not going to be using an apple, we're going to be using an orange today and learning about tectonic plates. So what you'll need today is an orange and maybe some pins or cocktail sticks to help you. And if you have a couple of pieces of paper, that might help you as well. So we're going to be learning about tectonic plates and that the Earth's crust is made of lots of different parts that can all move around. So let's start by peeling our orange. When we peel the orange, we're going to try and do it in maybe one piece or a few pieces. Here we go. You can see if I can do it. Oh. Don't worry about my wrists. These just help me because I have a problem with them. Oh, here we go. Peeling the orange. Oh, it's a bit juicy. And you can have the orange for a snack afterwards. There's the orange. There's the peel. I'll pop it on the table to lay it out. Wow, so this is our orange peel. And at the moment, it's all in one piece. But that's not how the tectonic plates are. We need to break it into more pieces because there are roughly 9 major tectonic plates. So, can we break it into 9 pieces? I'm going to have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I now have my 9 pieces of orange peel. And to understand how the tectonic plates move, we're now going to pop them back on the orange. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle to try and fit them all together. So there's one. And as we do it, we can pin them in place. So I'll get a pin. You have to be careful because these are quite sharp. In it goes. So we've got one piece in. Right. Next piece. I'm going to put it here. In it goes. Right, I'm going to do the next one. Oh, this is very tricky, isn't it? Pin it in. There we go. I'll come a bit closer in a minute so you can see. I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to put this one here. And, oh, this is tricky, isn't it? And they all keep moving around, but that's important and we can talk about that later. So I'm just gonna put this one here. And I'm gonna do a few more and then I'll show you when it's done. So I've had a go. I couldn't fit them all back in because it was very tricky. But we'll see if you can do it with a bit more time. So, can you see how the orange peel covers the orange, but there are small gaps and there are some bits where the orange peel, one orange peel goes over another orange peel. What does this mean? Well, imagine that this is the Earth, and each of these are part of the crust. These parts of the crust are called tectonic plates, and these tectonic plates can move around the surface of the Earth, and as they move, there's a difference in the way that they sometimes touch each other, and then sometimes there's a gap, and sometimes one goes over the other. And these are called boundaries, where the two tectonic plates meet. Let's learn about the different types of boundaries. The first type of boundary is the convergent boundary. So, here are our two tectonic plates. What happens is when they're moving together, they could converge or meet. And when this happens, two things can occur. Either one of them moves underneath the other one, and this is called subduction. And the one that is more heavy will move underneath. The other option, I'll bring them back here so you can see, is that when they meet, they hit each other and they crinkle up and fold. When this happens, it can form a mountain range. Also, when this happens, it can form volcanoes as well. The second type of boundary is the divergent boundary. In this, the two tectonic plates are moving apart from one another. And when this happens, magma comes up, molten rock comes up and fills in the gap between them. But it can cause there to be a big trench, a big dip in the land between the two divergent plates. The third type of boundary that we can have is called a transform boundary. And this one is most likely to create an earthquake. When the two boundaries are next to each other, one of them might be moving forwards and one of them might be moving backwards. So they're moving past each other. But at the boundary, it can be very tricky to move past each other. So one of them might get stuck and then move quickly, causing an earthquake. And this is an example of this is in California, the San Andreas fault line. Shall we have a look back at our orange and see if we can try and make some different types of boundary? Okay, so here we go. We've got two tectonic plates. And if they're moving towards each other, that was a convergent boundary. And either one moves over the other, or they crinkle up and fold. But that's a bit difficult on an orange. The second type is what happens if the plates move apart from one another, and underneath you can see the mantle, the magma rising up in between. And this is a divergent boundary. And the final boundary was a transform boundary, where one of them is moving in one direction and one is moving in the other. So they're moving past each other. And if they slip, that's when there's an earthquake. I hope you enjoyed learning about tectonic plates today. It was very difficult, wasn't it? And I think that we've deserved a little snack, haven't we? Be careful of the pins, but well, I'm going to eat my orange and think about tectonic plates and have a rest after all that hard work. But I will see you next time in the science section of N.E.S.T Kids. Bye!